project, so did one of these last semester and doing another one. But I'm going to walk you how to get to all the materials, not just the social studies materials, and a few other study tips on the computer. And then I have a Kahoot, so if you have a device and wanted to have that out, that would be great.
How long do you anticipate this lasting?
30 to 45 minutes. Oh no, not 2 hours. I'm trying to keep it under an hour. I know you guys have a lot of stuff to do. Okay. So you can go to your student SS tab, in which this might not be the correct way to get there, and I just click on one of my classes and then go down. I hit dashboard and then I go all the way down to the bottom. All my millions of assignments. Oh no, hold on. Okay, my courses, COE, you'll go there if it'll load. It looks so different not on my iPad. Alright, so we're going to go to MOCA because that's what we're taking. And then so we have, this looks different. Not it, hold on. Yeah, there are. You can get a fee waiver. I was just on here, content area. I might have to do it on my iPad. Test prep. Metrics. This isn't what I went to. Alright. I'll do it from my iPad. There's a section that's just social studies. Have you guys all taken it? Or is this your problem area, or are you just getting prepared? Okay. That's smart. I'm hoping that this will work. I hope AirDrop works in this room.
It does.
Yes.
The room number is like in the middle of the Lincoln letter stuff.
Great. I had to teach reading clinic, or I would have been here on time and all this stuff would have been ready. Okay. But it's still the same process. It should be, and you might be able to pull it up on your iPad, it should be the COE, Everyone College of Ed, but it was like MOCA and prep materials. And I found like a link directly to social studies that highlighted some really, really good ideas. Yeah. Oh, there's two. EDvolution. Content area. Oh, I just clicked on the wrong thing. That's what it is. Okay. I can't follow my own directions. So it's the content area and then test prep library. Yeah, and then so you can pick whichever one you need. So like for this, it would be the multi-content. And this is what you can check out, I believe, at the EDvolution Center. And then I found just social studies earlier, but this might be the same one if it'll load. Don't need all that. Yeah, social studies is first. So we need 102. Oh, it's not labeled. Cool. We'll just do it here. Or it's not numbered, right? Okay. Anyway, I'm not going to waste a lot of time on this. But if you'll go here and scroll through, it has a lot of good like highlighting ideas. Like when I scrolled through it earlier, it had like the major wars and things like that you're going to need to know. But I can't get it to pull the one that I want, so that's okay. And it also, I grabbed this screen grab that I can drop to you guys. Of the 20 test taking tips, which is important. This is 306, maybe?
312.
312, oh. It is not up, but that's okay. I can send this to you. I'm gonna send you guys an email, that's why I passed that around. But it's kind of what he went over. I do highly recommend scrolling through this. It'll be a good asset to you guys. I also have this Kahoot, and we can run through it with you guys, but I recommend doing this and doing it on the Learn setting, which is a new thing, not Kahoot, Quizlet, that Quizlet has, where it'll let you quiz yourself until you've gotten all of them successfully at a proficient rate. So these are all the amendments, and it gives you kind of little phrases to help you remember the amendments, because I would say a good 30% were the different amendments, which is something very important and crucial that you need to know. And like I said, I will send you a link to this. And then if you guys want to join this, we can work through it. Unfortunately, I don't think it's in the order that I did this, though. Oh, we're not doing that. Hope you guys don't enjoy that sound.
Sorry.
So we have 4. You're good. No worries. I can give you my iPad if you need it. Okay.
Also, that social studies ended up starting on page, it was like 120.
120. Okay.
It's
And what were
112.
right? What were the highlighted? Let me make sure it's the same one I found earlier, because if not, I will find it for you guys and email
Maps,
it to you.
time zones, cartography,
That's not the
map
one.
and globe terms. There's a lot on here though.
That's not the one I found. I'm gonna have to email Mr. Hayes with the EDvolution Center. He directed me to a link, but I can't find it anymore. But I will find it, and when I send you guys this email, I'll just link it to you guys, and you guys can find it. Makes me really sad because it like disappeared. I had it open on my iPad, and then it, you know how like it refreshes itself, and then it doesn't like it anymore. That's what happened. All right, so there's 30 questions, and then we'll do it, and then I'll talk about the answers. If we have any questions, I'm more than happy to answer it. So, system of economic thought from the 16th to the 18th century. All right, awesome. Do we know most of the economic thought type things? Those were pretty simple, common ones that you're going to deal with, right? And then do you know what year like the 16th century is from? What 100-year section that is? Yeah, it starts 100 years before. You think it starts after, but it's actually before. So it was like from 1501 to 1600 is the 16th century, and so on and so forth. And then the 16th century is regarded by historians as the century in which the rise of the West occurred. So Spain and Portugal began exploring, very close, Christopher Columbus-ish. And then mercantilism is belief in the benefits of profitable trading. So that was when trade was very popular. Or not popular, it was kind of the only thing going on. All right. Who wrote the Communist Manifesto? This was a question on my test. Okay, yeah. So it was, you got that? Okay. So yeah, it was definitely Karl Marx. Lev Vygotsky was in that philosophical thinking. Joseph Stalin was a dictator. John Maynard Keynes, what was the other answer? We thought Joseph Stalin. Yeah, he was a dictator in Russia, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right.
Who is John Maynard Keynes? Do you know who that is?
I looked it up. To be honest, I think it was a musician because I was putting funny things in.
I narrowed it down to them too, and I was like, I don't know that name.
Oh, nope, I lied. He's an economist. Yeah. All right, next question. I was thinking of Francis Scott Key, who wrote the... right, so what market where few sellers are present, such as the United States Postal Service office, is what that's supposed to be. All right, so oh goodness, I'm gonna sneeze. All right, so an oligopoly is a market shared by a small number of producers and sellers. A monopoly is when there's only one, and then a free market is unrestricted competition between privately owned businesses. So it is actually an oligopoly. I can't say that word. I want to say oligarchy, but that's a system of. Do we have any questions on that one, or does that make sense? Okay. All right. From 1348 to 1350, what swept across Europe, killing 30 to 60% of the population? Except it was definitely closer to 60, I believe. But yeah, the Black Plague. It killed all but 1/3 of the population. So that would have been like 33%, so a little less than 60. You would be surprised. 40. So I think originally I had this at 40, and he said that was too long for a study session, so we cut it down a little bit. But you will have 40, and I believe you have, it's less than an hour, I think, something. I'm a little unfamiliar. I took mine probably a year plus ago. The 14th and 15th century was named as, and you'll see this kind of terminology, so if you want to get the big ideas, that would be a good thing to kind of brush over or read through. So they might not give you the years. They might be like, in the Renaissance era, blah, 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 this happened. So you're going to need to kind of have a little idea. I would roughly brush over those before you took it, just so that you're prepared. So it was the Renaissance was when those years fell.
I thought that one was easier to remember because, like, if you know, like, music time periods and stuff, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
think of those old composers, they were, like, all Renaissance.
Right, and if you can link it to something you're very familiar with, that's super helpful. Like, if your thing is music, do music. If it's art, go with art. If you're like economy, you can link it to whatever economy was going on at that time. Whatever helps you remember is going to help you pass.
Do you have these questions in your Quizlet you made?
I have a Kahoot, and I will. I put it in a Google Docs, but there are some errors. It didn't transfer correctly. So I'll go over that, and I'll send you a link to the Word document, the Quizlet that I showed you, and if I can find the website that I found, I will send it to you because it was super helpful, and I lost it. I saved it, and then it wouldn't refresh, so I'm really disappointed. So might have to go get some help with that. And I think that's everything I promised you that you would need, I believe. All right. What was the major invention of the 1450s by Johannes Gutenberg? Yeah, because when I transposed this to a Word document, it said cotton gun instead of cotton gin. Lots of weird, funny things happened. All right. Yeah, so it was, Johannes. Yeah. That was definitely the printing press. Eli Whitney was the cotton gin, and then Thomas Savery was the steam engine, and then plumbing was just kind of my goofy answer that I threw in there. So there's that. Yeah, so Gutenberg was the printing press, Whitney, cotton gin, and I also had a question on the steam engine, so it would be beneficial to know that. All right. Who funded Christopher Columbus's expedition? The English monarch, Charles the Bold, Napoleon, or Ferdinand and Isabel? All right, yeah. It was Ferdinand and Isabel, and there's also another question that you're going to get. Does anyone know what monarch they're from? Spain, yeah. I kind of link for...
English were like, nah.
Right, yeah. And then, as I said earlier, during that time period, that was when Spain was exploring and trying to take on more land and things. But I can always link Ferdinand and Isabel. I don't know why, I just think those are Spanish names, kind of. Like Ferdinand the Bull. Like, I don't know if you go there or not. So I linked those to Spain. And then I don't know how I linked that to Christopher Columbus. That's just something, I guess, that's ingrained in my brain. But that's how I remember those together. Yep. So here's this one. If you get this one wrong, we need to talk. All right. All right. The philosophic foundation of democracy comes from which philosopher? All right. So we said Aristotle and John Locke. Yeah. So John Locke, Aristotle, I'm trying to think. He did so much, it's really hard to put one thing on his head. But yeah, John Locke founded democracy, or the first part of democracy, rather. Aristotle. I'm not going to make up something. I'm not one of those people, so I'll look it up instead. Okay. Obviously Greek. Yeah, so Aristotle was considered important during Western philosophy, and he's a Greek philosopher. Alexander the Great, he wrote on physics, poetry, theater, biology, ethics, and zoology. All right, Reformation led to the decline in the power of which groups? And during this period, it was a lot of, yep, very good. It was a religious Reformation. So, what is this? It was the Protestants and the Catholic Church. So, I don't know if you already knew that. You guys got that right, so I'm not going to really go over that very much. All right, what amendment sets up term limits? Dun, dun, dun. Back to this Quizlet will be very helpful. Yep. Yep. It was the 20th. Very, very good. I think of this, huh? I don't think so. I think there's 26 because I threw in one silly answer. Pretty sure there's 26. So I think of when I do this, and I don't remember what the memory tool is for this one, but you'll find it. I think of like 20th, so I think of like 2 presidents. So or terms. You can look at it however you want, but the vice president and the term limits and stuff like that. So, oh, nope, there are exactly 27 amendments. Ooh, okay. So the first modern dictator led a coup d'etat, taking over the French government in 1799. Yeah, it was Napoleon. I don't, when we learn the vocab word coup d'etat, we learn Napoleon with it, so I don't have really any other memory tool other than that, because that was a really big deal. What was the other one? Pol Pot.
I just guessed something random because I have no idea.
That's okay.
Russia.
Yep.
Was
Germany. Pol Pot. He is a dictator. I Googled him, but I'm not quite sure which region he was over.
But that didn't sound French, so.
Right. All right, which country began the slave trade? Yeah, it was actually the Dutch. Mm-hmm.
But the Spanish, didn't Europe stop the slave trade before like the Americans did?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Okay. Which amendment abolished slavery?
There's 213.
Ah! Okay. I thought I fixed all of those. That's fine. I don't know. What do you think? It could be 13. It could be 15. It could be 20, but I think we just learned 20. So I feel like you have a 50-50 chance of getting this one correct.
I got it right. Just wrong
Just the wrong color, yeah. All right, sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so it was the 13th Amendment. Yeah, that's not fair. I'm sorry. The article of the Constitution that outlines the powers and limitations of the judicial branch. And I do have a memory trick for these. I'm not going to tell it to you before you answer, though. Hey, you guys got it right. Awesome. Okay, so how I remember the articles is ledge, which is kind of funny. So it's L-E, and it's supposed to be a G, but it's a J. So this sets up the legislative branch, the executive, and the judicial. Don't know if that helps you in any way possible, but I like that. No problem. I have atrocious handwriting, though. So there's that. But I don't know if that helps you. That's how I memorized that in my what's the law, not law class. We have to take something prerequisite class, and that's what I memorized those.
PS 103?
Yeah, poli-sci. I'm very disappointed that I didn't transfer that as my girls' state credit. I could have, didn't, but it's okay. It was kind of a fun class. When a bill is vetoed, what portion of Congress is required to pass the bill? The process of a bill is on there, one part or another. It might not be the whole thing, but you will get pieces of it. Or at least mine was. Yep, it's a 2/3 majority. 3/4 was close, but it's still not right. I can give you the little song, how a bill becomes a law. Yes. It's very catchy and will be stuck in your head all day. My teacher used to sing it, and I'd be like, it'd be in my head all day. Yeah, so if you want to review that, there's a really catchy song that you can play right before you go take your test. How a bill becomes a law. All right, this policy helped in the Great Depression by creating a proverbial safety net. All right, perfect. The New Deal. Do you know who created the New Deal? Mm-hmm. Do you know who was president before FDR? We'll get to that. It's a question, and I'll go over it. Okay.
Was it like Hoover?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was Hoover.
Hoover Dam. That's why I remembered it. Because when we learned, didn't they start building Hoover Dam at the end of the?
I'm not too sure about that. I remembered it. Hoover was president during the Great Depression, the start of the Great Depression, and my history teacher gave me this really good visual representation. I'm not wearing jeans, so I can't do it. But they were very poor because it was the Great Depression, so they would pull their pant pockets out because they had no money, and that's called a Hoover flag. And so I had this big old history teacher, and he pulled his pockets out, and so I don't know, that's how I remember it. So they were very poor, they didn't have any money, and they were very upset about it too. So he was president when that began. So, and there wasn't a lot of who was president during blah, 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 but it was the big things like the Great Depression and things like that. Who was president, what happened, how did it change, like FDR and the New Deal. So an agreement among the members of society to cooperate for social benefits. This is still in that philosophical range. I think those are the hardest because they're so abstract. No one would pay me to sit around and think all day. Yeah, so it's a social contract, social agreement, but it's technically a social contract, and they agree for mutual benefits to cooperate. All right, so the U.S. has which system of government currently in place? Yeah, so it's a republic, power held by the people and elected representatives. A direct democracy is just the people vote. You don't have anyone voting for you. Every time you want to do something, everybody in whatever your country is, city, whatever, has to vote. So that's how that goes. All right, next one. All right, the 7 Years' War is also known as blank. They will, if a war has multiple names, they will ask one or the other, and it will be beneficial to know. Okay. Yep. Awesome. French and Indian War. Very good. All right. So this tax in 1764 followed Britain's loss of the 7 Years' War. So they were trying to make back the money that they lost. Nope.
I looked at them, I was like, oh no.
Sugar Act. Yep.
How about they dump the tea into the?
That was the last
Mhm.
one.
There were lots of tariffs that they played. This was kind of tricky. I think they're going to ask you something more along the lines of the Stamp Act or something like that. This was kind of a trivial one because there were different, they passed a lot of taxes, which is why we came over here and did what we did. So, yeah, we do have a lot of taxes now. So the First Continental Congress met in 1774 as a result of, who knows? Because we didn't talk about it. Yeah, taxes. Sent them that list of grievances, and the rest was history. 1803, Jefferson sent delegates to where to negotiate the blank, or sent delegates to negotiate the blank with Napoleon. Good answer. The Louisiana Purchase. Back to another one that I looked up, but I can look it up for you. It wasn't an answer I had, but I think so. Yeah. Gadsden was Mexico, the bottom half of. Yeah. We purchased it from Mexico, and it's a part of Arizona and New Mexico. It's that bottom piece. I was like, I know it's something. All right. The most important innovation for trade produced by Robert Fulton. Yep, steam engine. Yeah. I mentioned it, and I think I had the wrong name on the wrong line. Because I think it was on the first page, and I said the wrong name. Steam engine. Yeah, I said the wrong name. Oh, sorry. I had the Thomas, whatever, however his last name is, on the wrong line when I was explaining that to you. That was my goof. Yeah, so Robert Fulton, steam engine. I believe it's related to the locomotive, though. It was steam engine with the locomotive. Okay. And the relocation of 15,000 Cherokee Indians, where 4,000 perished. Very familiar to this area if you are from this area. Yeah, Trail of Tears. What pushed the U.S. to enter World War I? What kind of spurred it on? Yep. Oh, wow, no one got it. Yeah, the Zimmerman telegram, yeah.
I remember hearing about it, but then I also kind of remember hearing about the Treaty of Versailles. So it's like,
Yeah, that was the ending of, I don't know if that was World War II, but it was the ending of a war, and then this also began a war. But yeah, it was the Zimmerman telegraph that they were never supposed to get that actually began.
What it said?
I can.
I'm just making look everything.
No, it's fine. I always think I have enough, but I don't, but I want to give it to you. I'm not sure how it's scored. Yeah, it was from German Foreign Office that proposed a military alliance between Germany and Mexico, and the United States intercepted it. There it is. Yeah. All right. 3 more. In 1852, this novel by Harriet Beecher Stowe described the poor treatment of slaves. This was also a question on my test. It's very popular, or not. It's not a popular necessarily. Yeah, it is. It's a big book. I wouldn't say it's like popular now, but it was a very, very.
That's the one that's always like mentioned during.
Yep. Uncle Tom's Cabin. Yep. All right. 1897, the USS Maine was sank in the Havana Harbor, which marked the beginning of which war? Spanish American.
Yeah.
Havana Harbor,
Yeah.
Spanish.
I clicked it. I was like, no.
That's okay. All right. President when the Great Depression began. Where is it? Come on. Yep, Herbert Hoover. He was the president. He fixed the Great Depression because he had so much time. The U.S. stock market crashed on October 29th. What year? It was known as Black Tuesday. Yep, 1929. I think about it as the end of the Roaring 20s because everything was so big and then it came down really far. So that'd be a good way to remember that. This was kind of like, I don't know, a summary of kind of a lot of the questions I had and a few I didn't, main topics. And like I said, I'm going to try and find that link for you guys, but I hope this was helpful and I'll send you all this stuff. Hope that was good. Did you guys give me my paper with all your stuff on it? Yay. Any other questions?
Question about the literacy walk.
Literacy walk?
Yeah.
Okay.
You said we were going to sign up on a document somehow?
No?
Not me. It's usually, they usually do like a PDF form, or not a PDF, like it's like a Google Docs and they'll send it out to everyone and then you go on there and you type in when you want to do it. That's usually how they do. And if you have like an extenuating circumstance, you can be like, hey, Dr. B, like this is going on, I really need to work this time slot.
Yeah,
And
I would say I can only work for like setup because I told my manager at work I can't take that job now.
right, I understand. Yeah.
So we talked about the
Talk to Dr. B if you have any extenuating circumstances and then just try and get in, as soon as you see that go out, try and
sign up.
sign up. I couldn't think of the word I was looking for.